Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another installment of One Up, the only trivia show on Super Trash TV that happens regularly and not the one that I did once that one time. I'm so excited for today's episode. The theme is Dragon Ball. Maybe the most successful manga? No, that can't be right. One Piece, Naruto, Sailor Moon. It's a long list. But Dragon Ball is up there, and it's my favorite. And it's the only one that I've actually finished. So that's why I wanted to do this one. And I have two fantastic guests. Before we get into that, I'm Jacob Rubin. I'm your host and Quizmaster for One Up. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, we cover topics like Super Smash Brothers, The Office, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Pinball. Those are all on our YouTube page on Super Trash TV. So go and check those out if you are interested in those type of subjects. But tonight, it is Dragon Ball. Introducing first, I'm going to introduce our guests in alphabetical order by last name. He is an actor. He is a writer. You may have seen him in the video games where he played Master Chief, and also he lives 4 blocks away from me. Make some noise for Jesse Baldness.
Hello. Nice to be here. I am stoked. My stoke levels are over 9,000.
Hey, joke! You did the joke! Thanks so much for coming on the show, Jesse. Now, you are obviously wearing a Dragon Ball Z t-shirt, but why else do you think that you are the quintessential Dragon Ball fan and therefore will win today's episode?
Oh man, I've loved this show for a long time. I use it as good motivation. You know, just power through things, guts. I love that. It's a real like common shonen trope now, but the main character that kind of turns everyone good, turns everyone on his side because he's just such a lovable idiot. I identify with that a lot.
Yeah, Goku is he's the perfect everyman. He's better than Superman. He's more relatable. He's more, even though he's arguably more powerful.
Totally, yeah, and great. Loses occasionally.
Yeah, he loses plenty. He dies pretty early on in Z. And yeah,
he keeps dying.
Yeah, he does die a lot. I almost did a question about which character died the most, and Goku was not in the top 5.
Yeah, that'd be hard.
Number 1 is Krillin. So,
Yamcha.
Yeah. So now, thank you so much for that lovely introduction to yourself, Jesse. But now, we'll be going to our other guest. He is an actor. He is a voice actor. He is a video producer based in the Bay Area, I assume. Give it up for Evan Atwood, everybody. Yay!
Aw, shucks.
Thanks so much for coming and doing the show, Evan. So excited to get you on the program. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Jesse. You're wearing a Scouter. What makes you the quintessential Dragon Ball fan? Why are you going to take it home, push it over the finish line?
Well, for roughly 3 years in my young adult life, my email password was Parunga, and I have lost my voice frequently screaming into the abyss trying to become a Super Saiyan.
Yeah. If you haven't tried to do a Kamehameha at least once.
Get out! Get out of here! This isn't for you!
Yeah, and your bird knows how to say Kamehameha, right?
Yeah, that is how big of a nerd I am. I have a little parrot, and the one thing I made sure he knew how to say was Kamehameha. Although, it's very declarative. It's not really like on the show, but I did make sure if I do this, he understands and he'll get excited and say the word.
I'm done. I lose.
That's so cute.
I stole a fizzy lemon drink. I lose.
And also, quick shout out to producer Ben, as always, in the producer's chair, in the producer's corner. Thank you very much for producing the entire show. Let's go into the jaw rules. We do call them jaw rules here on Super Trash TV. If you don't call them jaw rules, you call them the other thing, you take a drink. The jaw rules here are very important. When you know the answer to a question, you will PM it to Ben. After each player is submitted, I will find out what the answer is. There's no time limit, but after one player has submitted the answer, the other player will have 10 seconds, which will be signified by Ben saying something or playing music or something. Every correct answer is with a point. Please don't cheat by looking things up online. Please don't cheat by looking at the Twitch chat. And finally, the winner will get the world's most comfortable pair of underwear because this is the English dub.
Perfect. Oh, are we just doing Dragon Ball Z or is it the whole gamut?
It is. The only thing that is off limits is GT because I didn't want to. I just didn't want to.
Neither does
impossible
Akira
to do it.
Toriyama.
Yeah. But I will say that even though, well, okay, I don't want to say too much. Let's just get the game going. Let's just get the game rolling.
Hell yeah.
We're going to start with the Z question, though. We're going to start with Dragon Ball. Even though in Japan, it's all just Dragon Ball, right?
For the manga, yeah. For the anime,
manga,
I think they still separate it into.
Oh, okay.
Goku's
And I know
a
that
kid,
Super
it's
is
Dragon
Super.
Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Marketing.
Let's get into the first question. During the Saiyan saga, who cut off Vegeta's tail? You're just going to PM your answer to Ben. They do start off a little bit easy. They will get harder. Let's start with Evan. Evan, what did you put for this question?
I answered Yajirobe.
All right, the Samurai Master, a prominent antagonist / protagonist in Dragon Ball.
Has he ever been an antagonist? He doesn't ever seem to have been effectual enough.
Well, I mean, you know, even Yamcha beat Goku once, kind of.
Sucker.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Yadra, I mean, I think when we first meet him, he's like, I mean, not like an antagonist, he's a dick. I guess he's a dick the whole time.
Fair enough. Yeah, that doesn't change.
Consistent character.
Right. And Jesse, what did you put?
I also put Mr. Samurai Yajirobe, the one thing he does in Z, really.
Yeah.
Other than harass
That
Korra.
is correct. The answer is, of course, Yajirobe.
Point
The
of
guy
order,
who spends the rest of the
spelling
manga.
count?
He occasionally
No,
throws
no.
bags of sensu beans.
Yeah, he just sits around. He hangs with Master Korin. Yeah.
Nice.
Great character. Fun to play as in the video games because he's got great voice style. Like when you bring him up in like Budokai Tenkaichi 3, he's got like a funny. He's always really funny.
Oh,
He
no.
has incredible run cycles.
Yeah.
That's the one series I didn't play. I've never played a game with Yajirobe as a playable character.
Oh, well, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had like nearly 200 characters. I mean, if you count every individual transformation as a character, like if all 4 of Frieza's forms are one character, it had a shit. But yeah, Yajirobe's in it. Chi-Chi, 2 versions of Chi-Chi.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And forgive me if I'm wrong. I think is that the one where any non-canonical flying character, they just like give a jetpack?
I know that they give one to Hercule, and
Yeah.
I assumed there was like a chapter of the manga I didn't read where he had a jetpack. I don't know.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, then yes,
Yeah,
the answer is yes.
Cool.
Excellent.
Let's move on to question number 2. What move does Piccolo use to kill Raditz and Goku? All right. Let's put Jesse this time. And if you can act out a move, that's cool. No bonus points, but
You know, I tried for a second to figure out how to spell the Japanese version, but it's just a special beam cannon.
those who kind of want to Piccolo signature moves. Evan, what did you put?
I also selected special beam cannon. Or hold on, no arm. Special beam cannon.
Oh.
Or for bonus points, if that's even a thing, I think it's Masinka Po Ha.
That sounds right.
I think
That might be combining the Masenko and it's like Makansa Popo or it's
Yeah. I think famously in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, it was the Masinka.
Because this is an English dub, the only answer I would correct is special beam cannon. There's the infamous moment right there on screen. Really, just like I'd imagine as a child seeing like, oh, wasn't this the fun cartoon about the naughty pig? And now people are getting stabbed through the chest.
yeah, man. They don't even show the blood anymore. They edited it out.
Also, they've really glossed over like the existence of aliens very quickly.
Yeah.
At the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, it's like, "Hi, I'm your brother, and also we're aliens." Okay.
So is he.
The least weird thing that's happened today.
Big ass
Yeah.
lore drop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got salty when they started being able villains could reflect that shit. That's a damn drill. That should go straight through you.
Right.
Well, anyway, you guys both got points for that one. It's still a tie game. Let's see if eventually people will not be a tie. Let's move to a Dragon Ball question. Tien Shinhan and Chao Tzu were trained in what school?
That Gatsu cosplay is insane.
Yeah, I do want to address this cosplay before we reveal the answer to the question, because this is truly, here's a zoom in, here's a close up on the Chao Tzu play. Let's make sure this is on stream. Let's get a good gander at this.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
That Tien had to work hard.
I had to look at this, so now you do too. The unfortunate thing is that guy didn't explode the whole convention. So anyway, let's look at a more normal picture. As we reveal our answers, let's go to Evan first. Evan, what did you? Tien and Chao Tzu were trained at what school?
I wrote middle school.
Tien probably. Chao Tzu, I mean, I don't think he's over
Maybe
the age of 10.
yeah, maybe we wouldn't like kindergarten. Probably.
Yeah. Let's go to Jesse for his answer.
I chose the Crane Hermit School. Roshi's rival.
Let's get the answer. Yes, the Crane Hermit.
Look at
Crane
his
is
little
all
hat.
over. Yeah. I believe this is when we first meet all three characters, who we didn't know would become major players later in the show.
True. Unless
Yeah.
you count filler, where Goku randomly has an encounter with Tien and Chao Tzu in some random village while he's training.
Oh, before?
Yeah, anime only, but they attack him as just like straight up antagonists, and he's like, "Wow, those guys were actually strong." So then when he sees him at the tournament, he's like, "Oh shit!"
Okay, that's kind of dope, actually. I get
Yeah, it's
that.
one of the fillers that like actually adds a little something.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I as I stated, I haven't actually really watched Dragon Ball. I've read all of it, so I don't know all the filler. Like, all I know about the filler is that there's apparently the fight between Future Trunks and Cyber Frieza is a lot longer.
I didn't know that.
And there's an episode where Goku learns to drive a car.
Yeah,
Yes.
best episode ever.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd only read Dragon Ball, so I'm doing a rewatch now. I actually like just finished with the Tenkaichi Budokai.
Oh, okay, sick. All right. Well, let's move to the next one. This one is a very interesting question. Question number 4. What was the very first instance of fusion seen in the series? All right. Let's go to. Also, that is the fusion that I've chosen to use for the image is Tiencha, the fusion of Tien and Yamcha that is only seen in one video game, and I don't like looking at.
I love it.
Why does he have male pattern baldness?
It's beautiful.
I mean, we know why.
Because otherwise he would have a very like hairy Tien's eyeball area. Or it was just like long lashes, maybe, to make up for that.
Yeah, oh yeah, just huge eyelashes. Let's go to Jesse first for his answer.
So I don't know how strict we're being on what fusion is. I think it's Piccolo absorbing Nail in the Frieza saga, but if that's not considered fusion, if that's just the Namekian absorption, I think it's the example of Supreme Kai getting the old Supreme Kai getting combined with that witch that steals his Patara earring. I don't know if I'm allowed 2 answers.
Well, you wanted a clarification of the question, and I think that will depend on what I put as my answer, because you said it's this and this, so that's okay. Let's go to Evan. Evan, what did you put?
See, I had a similar feelings, like thinking about all the different times, like, well, does Cell absorbing other androids count? But I put Gotenks in preparation for the fight with Majin Buu, simply because I saw a vested character in the thumbnail, and I was like, that's what you mean by fusion, right?
Sure. Okay. Legit. Yeah. So I got this answer off of the Dragon Ball wiki, and it considers the first example of biological fusion to be Piccolo and Nail. So Piccolo and Nail, that was what I was looking for as the correct answer. Because fusion, like all the Cell absorbing the androids, also all that would have counted. But this is the earliest one, Frieza Saga. This predates everything.
Oh man.
However,
Gotenks was right too. I would have gotten that wrong if it was Supreme Kai.
yeah. Because Gotenks definitely.
The fusion dance predated the Patara.
Yep, that's correct. Yeah. However, this is the first example of biological fusion. I was prepared in case one of you were real nerds. The first example of fusion overall is when the 3 robots in the Pilaf machine all merge into one big robot.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
If any of you had said that, that would have been a bonus point. I didn't think anyone would.
I considered it, but like robots, that's Transformers than a fusion.
Right. In the Wikipedia, in the Dragon Ball wiki page, it says that Piccolo and Nail is the first example of biological fusion. If you're saying fusion in general, it's not. But I knew that fusion is fun.
My only picking of nits is the fact that there is no appearance change unique to the combination of the two. It is Nail's power being absorbed into Piccolo with no physical variation.
Yeah, I mean, I do consider this to be a fusion, even though it's not like a fusion the same.
Agree.
Yeah,
Completely.
Consciousness is still there, I guess.
Yeah, it's different. He still has Kami in his brain too. Poor Piccolo.
Not by that point. That's later.
Not by that.
I believe.
Oh, not at that point. Yes, I'm saying in like modern day, like Piccolo 2022 that I saw in line at Coffee Bean today.
Oh yeah.
That's
How's he doing? But
really bad. Really bad.
No, hard times.
Yeah. Let's move on to another question. This is a tricky one. What's Bulma's mom's name? Before we reveal the answer, I'm going to give a shout out to 2 of Jesse's friends in the chat. Brother Paradox, who says, if Jesse loses, I'm going to throw a drink at him. And Boone96, who said a slur and has been timed out for 600 seconds.
I only know hooligans.
Yeah.
They deserve.
Brother Paradox. Yeah. So Bulma's mom's name. This is a very hard one. I don't believe it actually appears in any of the like main canon, but there is a canon answer to this question. So I'm going to go to Evan first. What's your guess?
I mean, I put Mrs. Briefs. I feel like her name's like Bunny or something.
All right. And Jesse, what did you put?
I've also only ever heard Mrs. Briefs, but in lieu of that, just to keep the pun going, I said underwear brief.
Her first name is just underwear?
I mean, Bulma is Bloomers.
Yeah.
Her name's like Panties or something, and it's just real bad.
Spandex briefs.
So it is true that within the actual both manga and animated and anime, she's just called Mrs. Briefs. But canon speaking, her name is Bikini.
That's perfect. That's so funny.
Yeah. I think it was revealed. It was revealed to be Bikini in a canon piece that Toriyama himself did not write because he said he thought he had a different idea he never got to reveal. I don't have it here, but yeah, Bikini is her canon name, which is very amusing. You know, because you got to keep Dr. Briefs, Bulma, fucking Trunks, obviously, yeah. Bra, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to question number 6. This is a 3-point question. I think you guys will do pretty well at this one. Who were the champions of the 3 World Martial Arts tournaments, also known as the Tenkaichi Budokai, that we see in the series? The 21st through the 23rd, 1 point per name.
Evan, 10 seconds.
All right. Let's go to Evan. Oh, have you finished? You submitted? Okay, great. Let's go to Evan first for your answers.
I am blanking pretty hard, but I know Goku won at least one of them. I'm not necessarily sure of the order, but I think it's Goku, Tien, and Master Roshi under his pseudonym, which I am fully blanking on. I think it's like Mr. Chan, like I think it was like a Jackie Chan pun.
Okay, and Jesse, what did you put?
Yeah, I don't know who Master Roshi is, but Jackie Chun is the first winner. And then, I got lucky because I just watched this. Tien squeaked it out for Goku, and then Goku finally won the 23rd.
That is exactly correct in the correct order. It was Master Roshi / Jackie Chun. I'll accept Master Roshi because, it was him. Master Roshi also won the 10th ever, as we learn in other lore. And then Tien, and then Goku in that exact order. So I don't get points for getting the order right. So you both get 3 points. 3 points across the board for everybody.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first appearance of Goku when he wasn't a tiny, when he was like normal sized. The way that he is. Yeah. The way that we get used to seeing him.
Yeah, all 5, 6 of him or whatever.
He's still significantly scrawnier than the eventual muscle-bound beefcake that he becomes.
Right, yes.
It's like,
but who did he
Goku,
beat in the final?
Now. Okay, I'm jacked.
It kind of stopped being a tournament, but he beat Piccolo.
Oh, right. Of course.
Well, Piccolo Jr.
Piccolo, who would be later become.
Fully, I think he crashed the tournament, basically.
I'm not sure, actually. Haven't gotten that far.
Spoiler for a comic that came out in the 80s.
I read it, I just don't remember.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next one. This one I thought was very cool to find out. Question number 7. Dragon Ball characters often get their names from a collective pun or wordplay for their group. Saiyans are named after vegetables, the shapeshifters are named after tea, the names in Bulma's family all reference underwear, etc. Which naming convention is used for the 5 members of the Ginyu Force? Okay, this one I could tell you guys are like really having a think on this one. Let's go to Jesse first for this one.
This one's hard. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with their puns. I actually didn't even know the Shapeshifter T one. That's cool. I think it's like groceries or stuff around the kitchen, like butter and juice, butter and jace. But I think that's probably wrong.
All right, well, we'll find out. Evan, what did you put?
Similar, where I think it was just like a collection of food items, but I think it was like fast food items or like junk food specifically.
Okay, two interesting guesses. This one is really hard because only two of them actually function as puns in English. It is interesting, Jesse, that the two that you singled out were Birder and Jace, because those are the two. I'd say that neither of you are close enough to get a point for this one. The answer is dairy products.
Ah,
Yeah, Ginyu is a play on the Japanese word for cow's milk. Birder is butter. Goldo is a play on the Japanese for yogurt. Raccoon is an anagram for the Japanese word for cream. And Jace kind of sort of sounds like cheese.
that sounds like Toriyama. Lose steam at the end.
God.
Just like, throw that one.
I love
Lose steam of the Frieza saga?
I mean, that's a lot of puns to come up with.
Yeah.
At some
Frieza-
point, Akira Toriyama is just like in his kitchen, just going like, "Ooh, what characters? Opening all the cupboards."
All right. Cheers.
Yeah, and also there's one character, I don't remember, but there was a female member of the Ginyu Force that we don't see during Frieza, who was there before. Her name means breast milk because she was the
Damn.
girl.
I totally forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, the shapeshifters, oolong and pu'er, those are two types of tea.
Banyu.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize who you meant by shapeshifters. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
I didn't think about it, but it makes perfect sense.
that's great.
Is there? I don't think there's any others that we meet. And is there like another collective one? I just think the shapeshifter.
Totally. I don't know if there's another one. I don't think so.
I feel because I remember like they belonged to like a specific school that like taught shape shifting.
Yeah.
So I assume at some point they have like a flashback to classmates or something, but
I wonder.
I think those are the ones that we really like get to know.
And looked it up. Her name is Banyu. Banyu is the name. Also, we are getting a request, Evan, if you have the ability to turn your mic up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I very probably do. I would be happy to.
Terrific.
People want to hear my voice? Well, gosh, thank you. High praise.
Also, the same person wants to see Jesse's shirtless torso.
Like you,
Brother Parrot.
like you're good at your job or something. Fucking Nathan.
All right.
Later.
How do I sound now?
Don't worry about it. I'll get it when the next question comes up.
Let's go ahead and go on into the next question. Question number 8. Dragon Ball was originally conceived as an adaptation of what work of fiction?
Oh.
Oh, okay. Both of you in right off the jump. Let's go to Evan first.
That would be Journey to the West: The Stories of Sun Wukong.
All right. Very direct and probably accurate. Let's go to Jesse.
Yes, sir. Journey to the West.
Yeah. Crushed it. Well done, guys. Journey to the West is correct. Here's an image from a fairly successful adaptation of the film. If you look from left to right, I don't know the names of the characters in the novel, but that is the stand-in for Oolong, then Bulma, then Yamcha, and then, of course, the Monkey King, Goku. Yeah.
I didn't realize that anyone but Goku shared a name with Journey to the West.
Oh, those aren't their names. That's just the that's who the characters essentially represent. Yeah, none of them are the proper names.
Yeah, but like quite literally, like one of the characters that is like the Oolong is like a pig man who also shapeshifts.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
For how long?
Journey to the West for
For how long I've loved Dragon Ball, I feel like I should read that eventually.
Yeah, I mean it's essentially the Emperor Pilaf saga, if I'm not mistaken. Just, a little different. Yeah. Let's move on to. I didn't think you got. Well, no, I knew you got. Let's move on to question 9. Who taught Goku how to perform instant transmission? All right, let's go to Jesse for this one.
He was taught by the Yardratians. I don't know if the Yardrat race, the people from Yardrat. I don't know what they're called.
All right, from the planet Yardrat.
Mm-hmm.
They are the Yardrats from the planet Yardrat? All right, Yardrat. Evan, what did you put?
Well, I wish I would have put that. Hearing that, I know how correct it is, at least far more correct than my answer of lumpy pink aliens.
Well, let's reveal what the Yardrats look like. That is a Yard.
They're not lumpy or pink.
Well, so there was conflicting.
Races?
Right, when I was searching for the image, there was images of them being lumpy and pink, and there were them looking like this. And this was a better photo. So I'm not going to take lumpy pink aliens because that's not correct.
Oh, you shouldn't.
But I do love this picture because I feel like Toriyama was like, oh fuck, I gotta draw a new alien. I'm just gonna go in my Dragon Quest notebooks. What do I got? Like, this is such a Dragon Quest ripoff, or not ripoff, but like.
I think these might have been a reveal in like the super manga or something, because it might be like male female or something like that. Yeah, because Vegeta ends up training with them in the super manga. Spoilers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I didn't really pay attention. Like, I think this is from the manga, and in the anime they might have been pink and lumpy because they weren't actually drawn.
They were pink in the anime. They were not lumpy. They were very smooth in the anime.
I meant like their personality.
I see.
I need some vindication.
Yeah.
Don't need
so yeah,
they just need vindication.
The Yardrats is correct. I don't know if that's a pun on anything. I mean, it just looks like the word yard and the word rat. So.
Radishes.
Known from getting from one place to another. Let's go to another Dragon Ball question. Why did Nam enter the 21st World Martial Arts?
Real quick. No, it is not a pun. It is just named after the planet. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on.
I'm having you in the fact check zone. This is awesome. Let's go to Evan. You seem very confident for this one, so let's go to you first.
I believe, with a certain order of confidence, that it was to get water for his village.
Okay, a noble task. Jesse, what did you put?
I filled in the same bubble. He's going to use the money to get water for his village.
Let's go to the answer. To bring water back to his village. That is exactly correct. He enters the Tenkaichi Budokai because he thinks that's the only way he could get water, and then learns that there's so much water where they have the tournament, and he could just take that water and doesn't have it.
Exactly. It's just like, hey, there's water here. You just bring it. You're all super strong.
Capsules are a thing.
Yeah, I think they use capsules, yeah.
Out of everything in any piece of media, I wish capsules were real.
Yes, it's like Pokeballs, but more useful.
Totally. They can hold a house.
Yeah, so bringing water back. The first time I learned about Nam was because I had Budokai Tenkaichi 3 for the Wii, as I've stated. It's the only Wii game I ever owned, which doesn't sound impressive, but I did own this game. So I could take it to friends' houses. But yeah, he's in it, and I didn't even think about it. You're right. He's got a fucking jetpack.
Yeah. That and like the strength to just like punch a well into the ground.
Yeah. He's something. I mean, the picture is, of course, when he lends his energy to Goku during the Majin Buu saga.
Yes. I love that callback.
Totally.
During like the energy gathering, that they just like bring back all these different characters that have not been in the series for tens of years.
First time we see Launch in a decade.
Yeah. You have no idea how many questions I tried to write about Launch for this game.
What's there to write?
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, she's such a weird character that for a while, I mean, I don't know if you're past this point in your rewatch, is kind of a big deal because she's like, also, I think the only person who uses a gun in the whole show.
I thought Mai uses guns
True.
Okay.
pretty frequently.
But yeah, the fact that Launch is like a sympathetic character who will occasionally just shoot everybody with a Tommy gun.
You know, Goku's bulletproof in like the first episode, so I guess it doesn't matter that much.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ouch, that stings. You lucky boy.
Let's move on to number 11, another Dragon Ball question. What is the name of the mountain ruled by Ox King that is the home of his castle? All right. Let's go to Evan first.
Well, my answer is the incorrect one, as I wrote Tall Heights, which is from Zelda.
Straight up.
Preemptively be drinking now.
Straight up, that's a crossover I would be all about.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Zelda Link goes to space? That should just be the name of the next Legend of Zelda: Link goes to fucking space.
Finally.
Yeah.
It's what the fans have always wanted.
Yeah. Jesse, what did you
go? I think I also got this wrong. I knew they tried to make him super intimidating in the beginning, but I don't think this is right. I said Demon King's Castle.
Okay, well, that might be the name of the castle. I was asking for the name of the mountain.
Oh, well.
So, yeah. There's 3 correct answers for this. Fire Mountain is, I believe its name in the English translation. After he is revealed to not be a bad guy, apparently they put out the fire, and then it's called Pleasant Mountain. And I think the literal translation in Japan is Mount Frying Pan.
Mount Frying Pan I did have kicking around.
Fire Mountain was like too simple, too obvious. Everything's a pun. It can't just be that.
Yeah. I mean, he's just the Ox King. That's not really a pun.
You know, he's king of that one ox right over there.
Hey, do they ever show him like king of what? He lives in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
he's the king
every
of that.
time he walks by a field, the ox just like bow a little.
Oh, do it?
It's
Oh
the
man,
only
I
way
don't
you'd
remember that.
know. It's the only way you'd know.
Yeah.
I am lying.
Yeah, he's the king of like the little village that surrounds the mountain, but everyone's too scared to go do anything about it. And then I remember that the first time. I mean, okay, when you guys, I imagine that you guys probably started with Z, right? You didn't like go right.
Yeah, Toonami.
Yeah.
So you see this guy, Goku's father-in-law, who's a gigantic man wearing a helmet, and you're like, what is his deal? And then you find out.
By that point, they had like introduced like aliens and flying and punching giant fish, and I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
this is fine.
The amount of shit that little kids will get on board with immediately. We didn't have any explanation of anything. This is the best show ever.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was incredibly confused. It's like, why is he giant? Why isn't he fighting? He's so much bigger than everybody. Let's move on to question number, I've lost track. Question number 12. What are the name of Emperor Pilaf's 2 minions?
These aren't food puns, I swear to God.
Don't worry.
All right. Evan's feeling confident, so let's go to Jesse first. Let's see what Jesse put.
I put Shu and Mai, which go great with the side of rice.
Okay. Which one's which?
Shu is the dog. Mai is the, for some reason, little girl.
All right, let's go to Evan.
Shu and Mai, those are correct. And she is a little girl because they misphrased a wish to the dragon to restore their youth, not thinking that it would make them all into young children.
Okay. Yes, shumai is correct. It goes great with platter rice pilaf.
Oh, I love a good shumai.
When did that happen?
I think it happened pretty much right at the beginning of whether I'm trying to.
I think it was off screen in Super. I think it was just like
in the
brought
series.
up as a gag.
I think they showed it in because the like Dragon Ball Super was basically the Battle of the Gods movie,
Right.
That just got extended. I know in one of the two they do show the scene, just like right at the top. And then for some reason they decide like, oh well, this adult woman is now a child, so she's gonna have, or Trunks is gonna have a crush on her. It's extremely awkward for everyone involved.
Yeah. Although, I mean, yeah, I can't watch the anime version of that. I'll do like the movies and then start with episode 40 of Super or whatever it is after Resurrection F, because man, that animation is bad.
They just recreate the movie not as well.
It happens in the King Piccolo saga upon the airship, apparently.
No way.
Man,
In Dragon Ball.
Wow.
I guess at that point they'd sort of gotten away from like having the be really what drives the show.
Eternal childhood, huh?
Yeah. Eternal childhood. They won't turn back.
I guess
they won't like them just start growing normally.
If they're still that way in Super.
I thought that there was some canonical like when they do those flash forwards to like the various future Trunks timelines. I thought that at some point they do show at least Mai as an adult again.
Yeah, he's her love interest or she's his love interest for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
I'm a little drunky. Can we talk about how stupid it was that they just went to another timeline that already had them in it? This is the perfect opportunity to just make Trunks part of the main cast. Why the fuck would they put him in a whole other ass universe with them already there?
Yeah. Give us a canonical Trunks, please. That's all we want.
That is the coolest fucking looking character.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, the capsule corp jacket with the whole, yeah.
I'm still sad I couldn't find it. I made it from scratch.
Oh, damn, nice.
Jesse, my opportunity to show it off.
You have a capsule corp jacket too, right?
I do. I just like jean jacket, slap the capsule corp patch on there. I tried to do the hair one time, and that is hard.
There are pictures of me with awkwardly spiked hair in a Goku gi.
I love
understand. I understand.
It's a rite of passage.
We all have to go there, you know? But hey, because of that, we're here now.
Exactly. Moving up in the world.
We've done it.
Yeah.
We've all done unfortunate cosplays as our favorite Dragon Ball characters. I shaved my head, and I'm 6'5". And I have a huge nose. I'm the anti-Krillin.
Wah, Krillin.
God, that's amazing.
Let's move on to question number 13. What is the title of the manga by Akira Toriyama that functions as a prequel to Dragon Ball, taking place 11 years before the first chapter? All right. You guys both look equally confident. Let's go to Evan.
My answer is Dr. Slump.
Okay. Jesse, what is your answer?
Also, Dr. Slump. I didn't know it was a prequel. I thought it was just same universe, but makes sense.
Well, this is a bummer. You're both wrong.
Of course it's Jocko.
Dr. Slump takes place at roughly the same... I was worried you guys might... That's why I put 11 years earlier. Also,
no trick questions.
It's not a trick question. Dr. Slump takes place around the same time as Dragon Ball because Arale
does show up.
Like
wow.
Yeah. Also, technically, a prequel has to be released after the thing that it is spinning off of. So Dr. Slump came out first, and then Dragon Ball. So that's not a prequel.
Good point.
total sense.
I gotta
Yeah.
rescind my English degree. I feel like I'm on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire now.
I got overconfident.
Yeah. Yeah. Hoisted by our own
hubris.
petards.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thank
Jacob.
you, Brother Paradox.
Jocko.
Your nose is
You got
perfectly
me.
sized for your face. Yeah.
You got me.
Have you guys
Good
read
on
this?
you.
No.
Okay.
Jocko's too annoying
I've only seen some like excerpts, just like scans of pages.
Jocko's too annoying to read a whole story about.
I think he's adorable.
Okay. It's just one volume,
Oh, all right. Maybe I'll check it out.
and he teams up with Bulma's sister, whose name eludes me now.
Yeah.
Bulma has a sister. She must be
It's-
so sad.
In the anime,
never
she
shows
shows up in the credits of Super. She shows up silently.
Her name is
That's
just
it.
straight up Tights.
Oh,
Tights.
That's it.
Incredible.
Fantastic.
Beautiful work. Beautiful work,
Yeah.
Mr. Toriyama.
Yeah, anyway, that's Jacko the Galactic Patrolman. Let's move on to question 14. This is our only question about Dragon Ball Super for the entire quiz. In Dragon Ball Super, Bulma hosts a birthday party on a cruise ship and has a bingo game with extravagant prizes. What were the 4 prizes? Each correct answer is worth half a point, so total of 2 points possible in this question. All right. Before I reveal the answers, I just want to say one quick thing. When I was working on cruise ships, one of the crew channels was showing Dragon Ball Super, and I hadn't seen it. I was like, "Oh, dope! I have time off. I can watch Dragon Ball. This is great." The episode that I watched was this episode, talking about the bingo game. At the time, I was working on a cruise ship and selling bingo cards, and I was like, "I don't want Dragon Ball to be this close to what my actual life is right now."
Then you should have watched the movie because it's not on cruise ship.
Okay. This is filler. This is also the only question that's explicitly about filler in this whole game. Sort of, I guess. I don't know. And also, the ships, he modeled them after the Royal Caribbean ships that I worked on. That looks exactly like Oasis of the Seas. Yeah. Fucking wild. Anyway.
How
Bulma is that rich.
existential? Did you just like fully dissociate and walk out of the room?
It was like I was looking for cameras. It was terrible. Anyway, let's go to Evan first. What did you put for the 4 prizes?
So I know one for sure, and that was a set of Dragon Balls, which I believe was like the impetus for Pilaf, Shu, and Mai like going to like infiltrate the party. I believe a yacht, an island, and a house were the others.
All right, Jesse, what did you put?
Good guesses. I am similarly in the dark. I know one was a wish on the Dragon Balls, but I have no idea what the other 3 are. I put a buffet, a cruise, and I saw Ben laughing at these nuts.
Let's go ahead and reveal in order from lowest to highest: car, plane, castle, and yes, the Dragon Ball. So you guys both got the Dragon Balls correct. I'm going to say that Evan, your guess of house is enough to qualify for the castle. So Evan gets 1 point, Jesse gets half a point. Yeah.
How fucking much money does Bulma have?
She
Enough
bought
that she
the
thinks a
cruise ship.
castle is a house.
She did pay for the fact that also I know how big these cruise ships are, And that castle actually would fit because those ships are fucking massive. It's like if you put the Empire State Building on its side, they're gigantic.
Jesus.
Yeah. Also, a very funny thing about this episode is that Trunks and Goten go sneaking around to try to find the prizes, and one of them is kept under this incredibly elaborate security system. And Trunks is like, "Yeah, my mom designed this. It's incredibly difficult," and then he just pulls the plug and they get the Dragon Ball. It's just
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That
Can
sounds
I
like
ask you a quick cruise ship question?
Sure.
I've always been intrigued by the notion of going on a cruise. Should I ever do it?
So that's a much bigger question than I fully want to answer. I will say that it's neat, and especially right now because of the coronavirus, they're very inexpensive. And it kind of depends.
I couldn't be paid to go on a cruise now.
Yeah. I'd say it depends on where you want to go. Like if it goes to ports that you find interesting, they're fairly cheap even before COVID because think about it. Normally when you go somewhere, you don't have to pay for any time you're on board. Everything is provided for you. And they have some dope amenities. The entertainment can be good. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't because I worked on them for 2 years, and I would be like, I want to do what the crew do. I want to go to the bar and drink a $2 gin and tonics. But
fair enough.
Yeah, but that's I don't know.
I like getting candid information about vacation destinations.
I went on a stingy one.
I'll say.
I went on, only 12 and under was able to get free food.
Oh, that sucks. Well, I mean, I will say that a lot of charters happen on cruises where they rent out the entire boat. Like they do a Star Trek charter. They do a Chris Jericho did a charter that had wrestling matches on it. So if you find, I'll say that if there's a charter in your Weezer did one, the Backstreet Boys do one. So if there's something interesting to you, then you should totally do it. Then it's totally worth it.
You had me at Weezer.
I didn't have you at wrestling. Come on. Let's move on to the final question.
By the way, Bulma is officially worth.
Yes, please, please.
So there's a lot of debate on this. I've been not listening to anything you've been saying and just been reading about this. So she's officially worth at least 250 million because that's how much the cruise ship would have cost. So then they deposit that she probably owns about 5% of the company, and the closest thing they can get to is just several $billion.
I was going to say, that's a lot of math for a very general number. Yeah,
and also, don't worry that you weren't listening to what we were talking about. It was just art and philosophy and very intellectual topics.
Oh, good.
Let's move on to the final question. This is the final question of the game. And, I mean, of course, we have to talk about the most important aspect of the Dragon Ball mythos. In the 2009 critically viewed film Dragon Ball Evolution, what is the wish granted by the Dragon Balls? Man, you guys don't like this. And that's great. That makes me really happy. Let's go to Evan first.
Cool. Have you leached enough joy from my pain?
I am incubus.
Just enjoy.
Enjoy.
Let me milk my tears for you.
Let me your depression.
Let me just... here they are, Jacob. It's all I have. So, my answer, as written, was to be a better movie, but also probably to bring someone back to life or some bullshit.
Yeah. We got someone in the chat who said that the wish was this movie never existed. That was sent in by
Obviously,
Super
it wasn't
Spoon,
granted.
Very
the
appropriate.
producer of this show. Jesse, I believe I saw this movie with you.
Oh man, maybe. I remember getting real baked and still being disappointed. My answer was fuck you.
And
But
it was correct!
I think it was reviving Piccolo. They did a post-credit scene with him for no fucking reason because there are 800 other Dragon Ball villains.
I mean, Piccolo does come back a fair amount. Anyway, the answer was bring Master Roshi back to life.
That's
duh.
who I was
Specifically
thinking.
Master Roshi.
Probably
Yeah.
was.
So, I don't know why they would have brought Piccolo back to life because he was, the bad guy.
Yeah,
Plus, he comes back in an egg. Like,
True.
that's...
not in that movie for some
No.
reason.
In
Poor
that movie, the
Calgon
post-credit scene is him being nursed back to health by that random lady.
by Mai for some reason.
That's
God,
Mai.
Yeah. All I
Oh.
wanted was the Kamehameha to look good. They showed it in the. I was like, they can fuck up everything else, but this has to be. You may as well not even have erased the wires. It just looked like they dragged him in fucking Adobe Flash across the screen. He jumps with the Kamehameha. How hard is it? Oh, God, everything about that movie was awful.
It was truly dreadful. I remember, the thing that I remember is Goku in high school answering a question saying, like, oh, I think we need to fear the Namecs. And I'm like, they're called Namekians.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even hard to Google.
And also, like, at that point in Goku's life, at least in the source material, like, aliens didn't exist yet. It was still
And
just
it didn't exist yet.
like, oh, what is Piccolo? A demon? We have those.
Yeah.
We have those around.
Props to James
You know-
Marsden for at least making Piccolo green in that fucking movie.
Apparently he's a huge fan. Apparently he was actually a huge fan and was really heartbroken.
Yeah.
They ended up giving him a role in Super. He voiced Zamasu in the English version.
What?
Did a surprisingly good job, yeah.
That rules. I watched that one subtitled. I did not realize that rules.
I had to do both. I love Sean Schemmel.
Oh no, they're great. The English voice cast is amazing. I think I just watched it as soon as it was available and
gotta get that shit.
yeah.
Fun fact, when I was doing research for this question, I learned that the director wanted to make 7 of these fucking movies.
Wow.
He thought he'd be able to get a 7-film franchise.
It's
That's
ballsy for any
bonkers.
director to think that they have a trilogy in them.
Yeah.
The absolute gall to think that you have 7 movies in you
Dude.
when you haven't made one yet.
Yeah.
Props to the
blows my
screenwriter,
mind.
though, for giving a written apology to the fans several years after the movie came out.
That's amazing.
That is
He was,
that's a classy move.
yep, he was literally like, I did it for a paycheck. I understand why fans would hate it. But if you see the original version, it actually had it shows that he did the research, and it had Krillin in it. It had a bunch of stuff that was Dragon Ball-esque, and then the studio came in.
Or no, it has to be high school. Was it produced by the CW? I'm curious.
I mean, it feels like it.
At least Chi-Chi lived in a castle. At least. They did stick with that.
Yeah, they gave
very-
Brim a
let's
little
go to that.
strand of blue hair.
At the very least.
Oh, yeah. That was dreadful. Anyway, this is the final screen that I prepared. Thank you guys so much for playing. It appears that Ben has given you guys 100 points each for that last question,
Fuck yeah.
which brings us to a final score of Jesse with 111 and Evan with 109.
Oh!
A very close edge out. Almost a perfect tie. But
I'll get you next
unfortunately-
time.
Let's wait for that Zenkai boost.
should have done Kaioken times 10. This
At
concludes
my power
this
level, I'd be
episode.
ripped apart.
Thanks so much for playing. Let's go and do some plugs. Evan, would you like to play?
You can check me out pretty much everywhere at Evan by Design. If you want to see anything about me.
Great. And Jesse, you got anything?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on, man. This is a lot of fun. I am on most social media as You're Hilarious, Youre, hilarious. And that's me.
Awesome. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as @JacobSRubin. Maybe someone will. Brother Paradox, really well. Shirt off. I like the shirt. I think it stays. Ben, anything you'd like to say? Oh, when's D&D? When's the Trash TV D&D stream? We don't know. Okay. Follow our social media for more. We got more one up. Oh, great. Going Ginger from Gilligan's Island. That'll be next week. Gilligan's Island trivia. We got Smash, a casual Smash every Tuesday. If you're in San Francisco, New York, or LA, we live Smash. Check out. So just hop in the Trash TV Discord. Check us out at Super Trash TV. Basically anywhere you find social media. Jesse McGrath, not Jesse Baldwin, Jesse McGrath is currently playing through Majora's Mask, and Brandon is playing through Chrono Trigger. Both of them, Jesse for the first time, Brandon not for the first time. But if you want to tune in and lend your support, watch them play those games, that would be awesome. Thanks to Jesse and Evan for being my guest today. Thank you so much, Ben, for producing. We'll be back next week with another episode. Thanks for watching One Up. Take it easy. See you next time.
Peace, y'all.
It's a transmission.
That was fun.